Hello, my MGTOW brothers. Swine Dog back again with another message. And this one is entitled Faith. And I'm going to, as always, speak about faith as it relates specifically to MGTOW. And this is a big subject here, so I'm gonna leave open the possibility of this being a part one of more because I'm sure I'm going to miss something. I'm going to listen to this when I'm done and say, oh, I forgot to mention this or that. So this might be part one. But having said that, let's get right into it. What is faith? Now, a lot of times that word is used in a condescending way to sort of to sort of dismiss a person's point of view or whatever they're talking about, as though faith-based ideas are devoid of any rationality or logic or real physical scientific evidence. It's just people talking about things that exist in their imagination, and that's not what faith is to me. To me, faith is something that we all need, and that we all make leaps of faith all the time. Sometimes without realizing it. For example, every time you get in a car, you're putting your life in the hands of people who you've never met, who designed that car, who built the braking system, and not very many people fully understand exactly the way a car works. And even if you are an expert mechanic and you know more than most people about that, you're still putting faith in the fact that everything's going to work the way it's supposed to. You're putting your life on the line based on things that you don't know for sure. That is one kind of a leap of faith. Uh, Forget about it if you ever stepped onto an airplane. Think about all the things you're putting your faith into. You know, the navigation system of the plane, that all the technology that just makes the plane fly. And yet, based on other information, you've made a logical decision to put your life in the hands of things that you don't fully understand, and that's what's called a leap of faith. So when we get, as we often do here in the MGTOW community, when we speak about big issues and we get into, ultimate things, sometimes we're going to delve into the area of the ultimate reality that we deal with, and that is what what are we? Where did we come from? Did we come from anywhere, or is it all just an accident? Were we created, or did we just happen? All these big questions, and those are great things to talk about, and they're interesting things to talk about, but they're not specifically MGTOW issues. And it's important to keep those things separate in your mind. And the main point I want to hit on here in this video is that regardless of your religious affiliation, if you have one, whether you're Christian, Jew, Muslim, if you're some other religion, or if you're an agnostic or an atheist, MGTOW is still there as a viable philosophy that you can benefit fully from. You can absolutely be a MGTOW regardless of your religious faith, or whether you don't have any religious faith. You can be a pretty staunch atheist, and MGTOW can keep you out of a lot of destructive situations in life. And that's what MGTOW is meant to do. It's meant to make men understand their own value and not be chasing value and validation from females or from your relationship to females, and then getting yourself entangled in the legal system and the gynocentric pitfalls that are out there. I'm a Christian. I don't make any bones about that, but I don't talk about it a lot because in the specific realm of MGTOW, it's not really that relevant, depending on the specific issue you're dealing with. Here I'm talking about faith, so it is kind of relevant. Now, within MGTOW discussions, and I've heard in Hangouts and in different kinds of conversations, you'll hear people talk about Christianity specifically or other religious views as being blue pill. And I think that's a mistake, and I might understand where that comes from. It's because there's a strong there's a strong presence of just tradcon thinking, as we call it, that will often be preached from a pulpit. So it's not going to be that hard to get online and find some preacher telling you you need to marry up and have kids, and all that stuff is you're gonna hear preachers spitting that line of thought. But if you actually get into the Bible and you read the Old and New Testament, it is just full of examples of MGTOW philosophy being, not in conflict whatsoever with true religious thought. So to wrap this up and keep it as short as possible, man, when you're dealing with a big subject like this, it's easy to start rambling and get too long-winded. So I'm going to just sort of condense my thoughts here to wrap this up. And that is that MGTOW brothers, when we talk to each other, and we're from different religious faiths, or some of us are atheists and some of us are pretty devoutly religious, we need to understand that our MGTOW brotherhood is not in conflict with our religious faith, no matter what that faith may be. And maybe I should make a little caveat there, because there are a lot of religions out there that I don't know anything about. Like when you start getting into Wiccan stuff or something like that, I don't know. Maybe there are pagan religions that worship the vagina or something like that. Unless you get into that area, where you're in some pagan situation where you actually bow down and worship the female form, that would be anti-MGTOW. But I'm speaking generally, and I'm speaking from the faith and the religion that we're usually dealing with when we have any kind of conflict in that area. So thanks, guys, for listening. And again, there may be a part 2 of this, because it's a huge subject. And the other area that I might do in a part 2 is the healing element that I always want to touch on. I want my voice to be one of being a peacemaker, being a healer, and there's a lot of conflict and there's a lot of pain out there that needs to be ministered to, and I want to be that guy. I want to be the guy that helps men and doesn't add to the fuel to the fire that divides people. So that's my video. Thanks a lot, guys, and do the YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, and share my channel. And I want to get the word around to as many men as possible to get out of the blue pill thinking. And thanks, everybody. Bye.